when we look at this tree, what do you see?
The color.
The color. What color?
The color of the tree and the color of the background.
The color of the tree and the color of the background. Why do you think you see the background so much?
It just is too much for the same color.
Because there's so much white on there.
Yeah.
Okay. And look at the placement of the tree in the pot. Look at the color of the living line in that tree and the pot. And look at the stand. Things don't work. I mean, everything is beautiful, except I'm not a big lover of that pot in any case, but you know, the stand has some elegant and detailed work in it. It's still heavy enough to hold onto the tree. The pot's not right at all for the tree. The pot is way under, not sized, but undervalued. It doesn't have the detail in it. It doesn't have the maturity in it that the rest of the tree has. And more than that, it's this color that fights. So what would help this, pull this together a little bit more? One, whatever pot you put it in, you want a little more room over here. You want to cover up this straight line. You want to raise something up so it has a little more interest to it. This doesn't work with any of it. This needs a different pot. Perhaps, as much as I'm not a lover of this pot, this color would work. If you put it, and the roundness of it would make it look better. Because the whole tree has movement in it, it needs something else. So if you put that pot underneath that tree, that lifeline would just suddenly come to life. It wouldn't be just a lifeline name only. It would feel alive, and it would, you'd feel the energy, because it has those heavy, heavy water lines coming down, this heavy lip here. I don't like the feet, but you know, so you would feel, you would see all this. It would just pop right out. And then the problem would be, would we put it on that, keep the same stand, or move it onto a different stand? So that would have to be tried out later. But there in display, if you'd had a different pot underneath it, it would make all the difference in the world. How about the positioning?
It should be, the tree should be more on the right side of the pot, because the bulk of it is going left.
The bulk of it is going left. Do you feel like it's coming into the room or going out?
Going out.
It's almost like it's going out of the window.
Yeah.
So is the front in the right position?
No.
How would you make that a front? This is getting more into design work, but if you're going to display, you need to know which way your tree's going. Is it that way or is it that way? Why is it that way? Because it's so strong right now, and there isn't this ape. It just seems like it's a little higher on this side. So, I mean, from my view, it's just this is fuller, and it has a slant down, so everybody feels that's the direction it goes, but I feel it going this way. So this tree needs to be changed in which, you know, the apex, you've got a long sweeping branch here, a long sweeping branch there, another big one in the back. You don't see any of those branches. They're just like this. So it could go in either direction. That makes it easy for display, put it where you want. But this one, if it were sitting on that side, I feel would look a little better. But then, would it be in the right position for showing? If we set it on the other side of that table, in this row of trees, would it look right?
No.
No.
To go on that end.
Because you need something on this end that truly is going that way. This one wants to be where it would be happy, outside.
Yeah.
It wants to get out on that patio there and enjoy the sun. So little changes make a difference. And when you pot something, and that's part of display, you've got to have it potted right. to really pull this picture together. What would make that look a little better?
Lower pot.
Lower what?
Pot.
Lower pot.
And a different color.
A rounder.
Little color in
They're
there.
all kind of the
Bottom.
same
A
color.
rounder bottom. We
And
need something different on the bottom. That's too much the same color. We'll try this as a bigger disc. There's probably a smaller one somewhere. Okay. Too big. Okay, does that help? Move it towards the tree just a little bit more.
I think it's still too high.
It's still too high.
To move it.
Leave the bottom there, take this away.
This little moss, that one's nice.
Much moss. I like it better, but it's not the right one.
Okay, but what does that do for, let's say we're trying to show the season?
Nothing.
Doesn't show the season. A little bit in the brown here, but if you had a little bit of brown in there, it would help. Does that tone it down any? Still just leaves it. You just feel like you're missing something.
Yeah.
From back here, the moss and the tree and the
Yeah.
moss on the
Like too
pot are
much
too.
They're the
moss.
same. There's nothing there.
Right.
It's just nothing, no matter what.
You're looking at, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that little square one we just passed, well, that little square.
Oh, maybe somebody else will take a
Wow. That tree now, I enjoy looking at it.
More so.
And what I'm noticing too, the foot on the pot from a distance looks more like what we have down here. It's just, I don't know, a little better. You see the detail in the pot where you didn't see it before. What you saw before was the heaviness. Now it's almost a reflective quality. You got a little lightness there because it's not, this was just too dull in some ways. It doesn't have the gloss. That redder value in the stand really picks up the green and accentuates it.
It's not good for the pot. The pot is not good for the.
Too chunky.
Yeah.
It just doesn't show this off. What you need under here would be a blue pot, a really dark blue pot, one that's maybe not quite so heavy. A yellow could work. Especially since you don't have the yellow on the leaves, but that would take too much away from it. If it's standing on its own, it would be fine, but as an accent, you wouldn't want to do that. So a deeper blue pot, much smaller, much more refined. So again, it's like the others. It's basically something captured, and the stand is too thick. This has a lot of age in it in the way the branches are done. This is just a very thick, heavy stand. And it does nothing. It doesn't belong in a show.